Since arriving on the scene in New England Championship Wrestling in September 2011, Sean Burke immediately established himself as a force to be reckoned with. Just 1 year later, Sean Burke finds himself the most controversial athlete ever to hold the top prize in New England Championship Wrestling. This week, it's an up-close and personal look at Sean Burke, the new NECW Heavyweight Champion, on this special edition of the NECW Online Update.
So I was born and raised in Agawam, Massachusetts, which is a small suburb outside of Springfield, Mass. So you can kind of call me a small town boy a little bit. I got a little bit of that Bruce Springsteen, my hometown thing going on. From the point that I was a young boy, I wanted to do nothing other than play football. And I played football when I was a peewee. I played football in high school, played football in college, and I was able to play a little bit of semi-pro football before I got into professional wrestling. So my whole young life, until I became a professional wrestler, was pretty much spent playing football, and that's where I learned a lot of the tricks that I try to employ in the ring today. Well, how I got hooked on it, I was about 6 years old, if I remember correctly, and my grandfather was a big Hulk Hogan fan. Loved the red, white, and blue, and all that stuff. He was a Marine. So he got me hooked on watching Hulk Hogan. He got me hooked on watching Sergeant Slaughter. I fell in love with the face paint and everything of the Ultimate Warrior, and the first recollection that I have, the first real memory of wrestling that I can put my finger on was SummerSlam 1990. I was 6 years old, and I remember the main event that night was Ravishing Rick Rude versus the Ultimate Warrior in a steel cage, and you also had the double main event was Hulk Hogan versus Earthquake, and from that moment on, I was completely hooked on it. It never went away. It's been with me ever since. Well, after my football career ended, I had always had the dream of, I kind of always wanted to play in the NFL and then do something very similar to what people remember what Kevin Green did when he came and wrestled for WCW a little bit. I always wanted to do something like that, but when my football career came to an end, I said, hey, why not? Let's go become a professional wrestler, because that's really what had always been in me. I'd always had the dream to do it. Found myself in a situation where I didn't really know where to go. Didn't really know where to start. I got in touch with a couple of people. They told me that a guy by the name of Antonio Thomas that I remembered from TV was training people in what was Chicopee at the time, now Palmer. And the rest was history. We got in touch with each other, started training with him, and now I'm here.
And that was 2.5 years ago.
2.5 years ago, yep.
What does it mean to you to be in New England Championship Wrestling?
Well, it meant a lot, Sheldon. I mean, just the first day that I walked in, I remember it was the Spencer Fair. It was the first match that I had for NECW, and I remember walking in that first day. And NECW is one of those companies that means a lot. It's a company that you always heard about before I was into wrestling, or before I was actually a professional wrestler. NECW was a company that always popped up on the internet. I always heard my friends talking about it. And then you find out about guys that have gone on to superstardom that came through NECW. So it was one of those places where I felt like if I can get my foot in the door there, it's just something else I can add on to my resume. It's something that looks really good, and I'm walking in the same footsteps that a lot of other people have walked. And then to get to this point, to now be the NECW Heavyweight Champion, the people that have held this belt, the Brandon Locks of the world, the list is endless, the Slick Wagner Browns of the world, just people that I've looked up to since I got into professional wrestling. It means the world to me to have this belt, and I want to defend this with the utmost honor and do those men honor along the way.
All right, let's fast forward to September 14th, the night you won the championship. Earlier in the night, you had a semifinal match against Johnny Thunder. Burke charges in, but Thunder gets the foot up. Burke is down. Thunder with his feet on the ropes gets a 3 count. The referee calls for the 3 count. And it appears that Johnny Thunder is your winner, but Tank the Tank is going to have something to say about it. Tank telling referee Bob Costa that Thunder had his feet on the ropes. Costa checking with Chris Norman. Costa looking at the fans incensed. He's got his attention focused on Tank. Referee calls for the bell, but Burke gets behind him, rolls him up, gets the 1, 2, 3, and Sean Burke advances to the final.
The first thing going through my head during that, Sheldon, was I knew Johnny Thunder had pinned me. I knew my shoulders were down on the mat, and I knew that I couldn't kick out, but I didn't know why. He hadn't hit me with anything devastating. He had, rolled me up and pinned me, and there was no way in my mind that I could believe that he could possibly have beaten me that easily. I quickly found out why. I quickly found out when, fortunately Tank the Tank was there and was able to get a hold of the referee and explain to him what had happened. I was able to find out that Johnny Thunder had actually hooked his feet on the ropes, which made a lot of sense based off the fact that I couldn't kick out. From there, Johnny Thunder's jawing with Tank to Tank. He's jawing with the referee. The bell rings. The match restarts. The referee makes the call. I looked at the referee. Is this on? Is this real? Is this going on right now? Referee gave me the nod. Match is on. Johnny Thunder took his eye off the ball. The match was live. I rolled him up, got the victory, didn't use my feet in the ropes like Johnny Thunder did. I don't think Johnny Thunder has anything to complain about except for him to himself.
Later in the night, it's the finals. It's you and Chase Del Monte. The match is going back and forth. At times he had the advantage. At times you had the advantage. Jeremy Prophet comes out after being knocked out, struck in the head with a ring bell by Chase Del Monte earlier in the night. He comes out to exact some revenge on Chase Del Monte, gets up on the apron, kicks him in the head unbeknownst to you. Chase is staggered. You hit the sit-out powerbomb, 1, 2, 3, you're the new champion.
Well, first off, I can't blame Jeremy Prophet for what he did. The man got hit in the head with a bell. He got slighted out of a chance to win the NECW Heavyweight Championship. He came out, he wanted to exact revenge. Having said that, I never asked for Jeremy Prophet's help. I didn't want Jeremy Prophet's help. Going back and watching what happened, I understand why Chase is mad. And if Chase wants another run at this belt, Chase can have it. Because as far as I'm concerned, we went toe-to-toe. We had a great match. It was back and forth, like you said. Chase took me to the limit. He wants to take me to the limit again. I think the outcome will be the same because I think I can beat Chase Del Monte without Jeremy Prophet's help.
Okay, so now you've got 3 guys that were in this tournament, apart from you. Each one of them feels that they have a beef. Johnny Thunder says he pinned you. He got a 1, 2, 3 on you. And he got cheated out of a victory over you one way or another. You've got Chase Del Monte who's saying, hey, if Jeremy Prophet didn't hit me in the head, I'd have been the champion. I'd have beaten Sean Burke. And you've got Jeremy Prophet saying, if I didn't come out and kick Chase Del Monte in the head, Sean Burke, you wouldn't be the champion. What do you say to each of these 3 men?
Say the same thing to all 3 of them. I'm not going to apologize for being the NECW Heavyweight Champion. All 3 of them may have a legitimate claim, and if any of them at any time wants to step up to the plate and you want to prove that this isn't rightfully mine, sign your name on the dotted line. I'm not hard to find.
NECW Sonic Boom, the official audio podcast, hosted by Al Bassler and Chris Norman. NECW Sonic Boom features all the latest NECW news, match results, exclusive interviews, and analysis. NECW Sonic Boom, available online at necwwrestling.com. New England Championship Wrestling returns live in November with Full Tilt. Friday night, November 2nd, NECW debuts at the Knights of Columbus, 25 T Drive, Randolph, Mass, with an 8 p.m. bell time. In the main event, new NECW Heavyweight Champion Sean Burke takes on Johnny Thunder. The NECW Tag Team Championship will be on the line as the House Party defend against the Crown Jewels with Mr. Fabulous Tony Ulysses. In World Women's Wrestling action, Mistress Belmont and Luscious Latasha collide in a return grudge match. Plus, Canadian star Jeremy Prophet takes on Mark Sherman, and more matches to be announced. Tickets are on sale now, online at necw.tv/events, or call toll-free 1-800-838-3006. That's 1-800-838-3006. Don't miss NECW's Full Tilt, Friday night, November 2nd in Randolph. It's the place in cyberspace, the all-new NECW website, online at necw.tv. For the second part of this interview with Sean Burke, we were joined by his trainer, Antonio the Promise Thomas, a man who is no stranger to NECW fans and wrestling fans worldwide.
The gym here is called Ring Sport, Pro Wrestling and Performance Gym. I opened it with a friend of mine, Jeremy Barron, back in May, and it's a natural extension of myself being a personal trainer, being a very, always seeking knowledge and always wanting to learn myself. And when I'm not doing shows, when I'm not in the gym, I'm in here perfecting my craft, helping other aspiring wrestlers like Sean Burke here, the NECW champion, help fulfill their dreams and help them become the best professional wrestlers that they can be, best performers they can be. Sean is one of, if not the best student that I've ever trained. Not only that, he's one of the best people I've trained and one of my best friends. And I don't even really consider him a student anymore. I consider him a peer. As you can see, he's the NECW champion. That's a title that I've never held. Okay, and the NECW championship was always a goal of mine. NECW was always my home from the beginning when I started. It was my first home. And a goal of mine was to be at the top of the NECW food chain. And right now, Sean Burke is there, and I couldn't be happier for him.
How do you respond when you hear people like Johnny Thunder, Chase Del Monte, Jeremy Prophet saying that Sean Burke's win was a fluke and that he really doesn't deserve to be the NECW Heavyweight Champion?
A fluke, huh? Beating two men in the same night clean in the middle of the ring is a fluke. Look, Johnny Thunder, Chase Del Monte, Jeremy Prophet, you guys were in that tournament for a reason. They're all great athletes, all great competitors. And there's always controversy surrounding all sports. We've seen it this year with referees in the NFL. We've seen it with Alex Rodriguez getting benched. Raul Ibanez comes in, hits a game win, 2 big home runs, game tie or game winner, because he took advantage of the situation presented to himself. And that's exactly what this man did. Johnny Thunder, you took your eye off the ball. Chase Del Monte, he took his eye off the ball. And having played football his whole life, Sean Burke knew not to take his eye off the ball. In his short time in this sport, he knows how to focus, and he knows when to take advantage of a situation. And on September 14th, he did just that. Call it luck, call it chance, call it a fluke, call it whatever you want. But you're calling this man your NECW champion.
All right. Friday night, November 2nd, Sean Burke, you make your first title defense against Johnny Thunder.
The message to Johnny Thunder is very, very, very simple. Be careful what you wish for. So you go out on the internet and you tell people that you beat me and that I can't beat you. I can't beat you fair and square in the middle of the ring. Be careful what you wish for. I can and I will, and I look forward to it. Johnny Thunder, you're the first guy that's stepping up to the plate. You're the first guy that I get to prove who I am to.